So this paper is about how we think about the workers. And one of the reasons I wrote this paper, because I originally studied legal studies, and my specialization was labor law. And labor law, and to a certain extent public policy, is built on the leftist or socialist idea of workers. Workers are the poor, the downtrodden, who are exploited, or at best, they are victims of iron laws of the market, being mercy of the supply of demand, and the mercy of the powerful and resourceful capitalist. Anyway. And in this picture, what is the other side of this picture? That those who are defend the free market, they are serving the interest of the big companies, the rich and filthy and greedy capitalists. And really, public policy is based on this picture. And if I go to the Facebook discussing people with issues, everybody is telling these things. And my idea is really, if you want to have more attraction, we need not only speak about entrepreneurs, which is the key issue for the Austrian economic school, but also we should think how to reconceptualize the workers' role in market economy in order to fit in our discussion, like Austrians, it also would be a much broader appeal. So this was the reason why I wrote this paper. And the structure is entrepreneur in the Austrian Economic School of Literature, the concept of life entrepreneurship, capital, and construction industry, which is in Hungary. But I don't have time to speak about everything, but I tell the most important things. So the starting point is Karl Menger. And Karl Menger, in his Principles of Economics, the first chapters, he has a completely different, he has a picture of the human being very similar to the Misesian one. Actually, Misesian is very similar than the Kammerdian one. So Karl Menger is saying each of us is an entrepreneurial human being. Each of us is able to think, to discover new connections, speculate, plan, and act as an entrepreneur. And although none of us has perfect knowledge, but we are capable to learn during the action and correcting mistakes. And he says there is a difference between entrepreneurial human being and entrepreneur. Entrepreneur has access to capital. And then capital at Menger, it will be later very important for the discussion, physical capital and money or credit. Now this Mengerian perception of human being was turned upside down or down upside by Joseph Schumpeter. I mean, and Schumpeter unfortunately became the economist who defined the discussion about entrepreneurs for the mainstream literature. I mean, Schumpeterian turn means he turned away from the Mengerian concept. For him, entrepreneur is a superhero, an extraordinary mental energy, a natural leader, a minority. Only a few of us is able to be entrepreneur. He is the creative destructor who is to renovate the economy. And opposite to this very small minority, the masses, traditional way of thinking. They are only capable to follow the leader or copy it. To a certain extent, if you go back, it is the same like the leftist picture. No wonder if somebody reads the Socialism and Democracy and in 1943 book, he learned a lot from Marx, so probably this is the impact of Marx on him. Now, Ludwig von Mises, in the human action, tried to reconstruct the original Mengerian vision. Practically, his acting man is the entrepreneur. Each of us is an entrepreneur. I mean, just half an hour he said, Professor Jesus Soto, that each of us is how you said, is a universe of possible action. And he had that other name of the real entrepreneur, he called this promoter. The promoter, he is a kind of combination of Schumpeter and Mengerian entrepreneur. Those who are especially driven by profit motive and have access to capital. So he tried to combine these two type of things. Unfortunately, his message hasn't arrived to the mainstream literature. Finally, I would like to speak about Professor Huerta de Soto, because he also one who he thinks entrepreneur and entrepreneurship is a key actor in dynamic market economy, and in his book on socialism, he has a kind of a half page when he even speaks about workers acting as entrepreneurs when they are choosing between jobs, which is an important issue for my paper. So, of course, we couldn't name workers to be entrepreneurs because their term is already occupied. And it's very difficult to rename an already existing term, which has a well-defined meaning. And I found an American book which is about life entrepreneurs. And this is about highly successful entrepreneurs who devoted whole their life to their entrepreneurship. And I thought, because I was originally a sociologist, I did a lot of workers interview, and I thought workers are typically life entrepreneurs. They begin to learn their skill and approach step by step. They are learning, they are bettering their own skills, they are building up reputation, they are learning new skills, they base their reputation on own personal reputation, how they good skilled workers they are, and they are in the hierarchical world of the work. Their reputation is based on how good they are, so they are a kind of life entrepreneurs. So workers could be categorized as life entrepreneurs as they build up their own reputation and acquiring new skills and knowledge all along their active life period. Now, going back to Menger, as we have seen, Menger said the difference between a human being with entrepreneur trait and entrepreneur access to capital. But the Mengerian concept of capital, of physical capital. And the second idea of the paper is the capital of the life entrepreneur is human capital. So how do you put this human capital into the Austrian framework? And this is the next phase of my paper. So the original concept, this is based on Böhm-Bawerk, fantastic book on capital. Original concept of capital, physical capital at the service of an individual. Adam Smith had two bifurcations compared to the original concept. One is, he said, there is personal capital, which is the original meaning of the capital, and the community at the service of the community or nation. And then he included the work effort, the dexterity of work, this was his expression, into the capital goods. And later, we have the human capital, which has become especially very accepted term in the mainstream literature, especially Schulz and Becker in the mid-60s, which is on emphasis on education. So how to go back to the Austrian literature? So if we are reading book of Menger, in the principles was really interested in the transformation process of higher order goods into lower order goods. So consequently, his concept of capital covered the physical capital, which is necessary for the transformation process. But when we go to the part of the book which is discusses the capital of the concept of goods, then he distinguishes between physical goods and intangible or non-physical, non-material goods. And the intangible goods are dexterity to work and acquired skills, reputation, prestige based on work performance, social networks, family, colleagues, and friendships. So practically what I'm saying, we have a wider concept of human capital based on Menger concept of goods. And life entrepreneurs use human capital and they enrich their own human capital on the job training, work skills, which means not only acquired skills, but in the hierarchian sense, tacit knowledge also, reputation, prestige on good work, and personal networks, which they acquire during their life course at workplaces. So workers could be conceived as life entrepreneurs who are using their own human capital to advance their life and ensure security in the world of work. Now, there is a part of the paper which I don't, and this is the difference between a real capitalist or entrepreneur, Ford. He has physical capital and human capital, and the life entrepreneur, human capital. I made a lot of interviews in the Hungarian construction industry. This is construction, you should know, this is an entering industry, low skill, high level of insecurity, low wages. But I have found there that workers who worked well, acquired skills, sometimes not even in school, but on the job training, they gained reputation as good and reliable worker and build social network that he is good. I recommend him or her, but mostly men. They very easy to get new work assignment. And really what I found them, that this kind of life entrepreneur construction workers had high salary, relatively high salary, by Hungarian standard, very good salary, lot of security, although they are always worked in different places, but they always was very requested workers, so they were practically job security, and they ensured for themselves a kind of middle-class lifestyle by Hungarian standard. Now, what is important in the interviews is the fourth one is also revealed that also very important is being alert from Kirchner, ready to grab the chance and judgment, Knight and Clay. So this is also important to have not only learn, but also have this kind of entrepreneur attitude. So I have two conclusions. One is theoretical one. Market economy is by nature not an enemy of workers. Contrary, it privileges good work, skill acquisition, and enables reputation, honor, as in the medieval ages, based on work, and to be part of the ever-broadening middle classes as a worker, which is a completely different situation than the pre-industrial worker who was a serf, and destined to be poor. And those who ready to work well, invest into their own human capital, could overcome the disadvantages of being born in poor family, sometimes with alcoholic father, because most of these construction workers, this is Hungary is important, and maybe I'm here in this socialist because it was a socialist country. And even socialism workers, it was not a workers' paradise. There were poor families there were disadvantaged families, alcoholic parents, divorced parents, children didn't go to school or wherever, but students, they went to the construction industry and they became middle-class persons. But also important the personal character, and there is a practical conclusion. And this is my experience also. I mean, workers' own self-recognition, their own self-appreciation is based on skill, good work, and reputation. And workplaces are very hierarchical in nature. They know exactly who is there, what is the skill rank among them, what is the compensation for them, and they're very proud of their position, all those who are up. And the most important is to have entry possible into the world of the work, to gain the chance to get on-the-job training, even if you are unskilled, even if you are low paid. Once you enter in the world of the work and you have good skills, good head, you are ready to invest into yourself and not go to the pub to drink 200,000 liters of beer every night. Some people do this. Then you could really go ahead and you build up your own personal human capital. So the consequence, the practical conclusion of this, that high taxes, especially on employment, minimum wage, Bradley Witten, bureaucratic red tape, all obstacles to entry into the world of work. The welfare state really is passivating people, making them very good at front of the TV and look at the MasterChef, if they are in Spain, and enter what is happened with the daughter of Rocio Jurado, what is happening with their family and so on, these things, but they don't learn work. So it's most important to have as easy as possible entry to the labor market and offer chances people to work and through work develop their own human capital, then passivate them on the welfare state and speak about solidarity, and with high taxes destroy entrepreneurs who would give work to these workers who are ready to build up their own human capital. Thanks very much for the attention.